Good morning, students. So today we will discuss about chapter 1 of 11th standard, that is nature and purpose of business. So as we are the human beings and we does activities in our day-to-day life, some activities are undertaken just to earn money and some are undertaken to get the psychological satisfaction or for the self-satisfaction. So whatever the activities we are undertaking for earning money is known as economic activity, and the activities which are undertaken for the psychological satisfaction, for the self-satisfaction, is known as non-economic activity. For example, if you are doing work in any organization, if you are indulged in any business, profession, employment, if you are doing job anywhere, then we can say that we are indulged in an economic activity because we are doing the work just to get the money from there. But in non-economic activity, for example, when you go to temple and worship the God, this is called non-economic activity because God is not going to give you money and all. You are just going to temple and all to worship the God for the self-satisfaction, for the psychological satisfaction. Second thing is, if you are helping your mother in kitchen, if you are helping your friend to complete the homework and all, then this is called non-economic activities, means you are doing something good for others for the self-satisfaction, for the psychological satisfaction. So now it is clear to you, economic activity means that activities which are undertaken to earn money is known as economic activities, and the activities which are undertaken for the self-satisfaction or psychological satisfaction is known as non-economic activity. So economic activity are of three types, that is business, profession and employment. So here the question arises, what is business, what is profession and what is employment? So business means sale and exchange of goods and services on regular basis with the main aim to earn profit. This is very important. Why we are doing business? We are not mad. Can we just sell the goods and services just like that only? No, we are doing the business to earn more and more profit. But you are considered as a businessman if you are a regular dealer of the particular things. For example, I bought this marker from the market worth rupees 35, and my friend liked this marker and he want this marker from me. I offered the marker to him for rupees 40. So I earned 5 rupees more from him now. So what do you say? Is it a business? I am saying no, it is not considered as a business because I am not a regular dealer in this marker. If I would be a regular dealer in the marker, then I can say that I am a businesswoman. So to be a businessman, you should be the regular dealer in the particular goods and services. And why we are selling the goods and services, why we are exchanging the goods and services, just to earn more and more profit. So I think this is very clear to you. What is business? Business means business is an economic activity in which there is exchange of goods and services on regular basis, and the main motive of every business is to earn profit. Second one is profession. We are very well aware about this word profession. Number of times we are using this word in our life. Profession, professionals, professionals. So who are professionals? Professionals means to get a professional knowledge. It is a systematic body of knowledge, I should say. Like doctors, lawyers, engineers, who they are? They are the professionals because they acquire a special knowledge, a special skills on a particular area or on a particular field. So what is profession? Means acquiring special knowledge and skills on a particular area and apply that knowledge on that area only. This is called profession. In profession, there is some restrictions in entry, means if I am a commerce student, you are the commerce student and you want to be a doctor, you want to give the entrance examination of CPMT or in medical line, then you can't because you don't have minimum qualification to give the entrance examination of that particular field. So what should I say? In profession, there is some restriction in entry. First, we have to clear and crack the examination, entrance examination, then only we can be a professional. Clear? Third thing is, in profession, the motive of every professional is to provide services. In business, the motive is to earn profit, but in profession, the main motive is to provide services. What teacher is doing with the students? The teacher is providing the services. What CA is doing, what doctor is doing, doctor, CA, engineers, lawyers, what they are doing? They are just providing the services to their clients, to their patients, to their students. Is it clear? So we cannot say that profession is a business. Business is different and profession is somewhere different from that. So we can say that profession is a systematic body of knowledge in which we have to acquire a special knowledge and skills to get into a particular area, and we have to apply our skills and education on that particular area in which we are dealing with. Is it clear? And the main motive of every professional is to provide services. Next one is employment. Employment means it is concerned with the contract, we can say, or it is a relationship between the employer and employee. So who is employer and who is employee? Employer means your boss. One who has given the job to you is the employer. And employee means one who have to follow the instructions, the guidelines, or the rules and regulation of the employer. So employer provides some guidelines, certain instructions to the employees, and the employee have to follow those rules and regulation, those guidelines very strictly. In employment, if you are the employee of any organization, then that organization will provide you certain remuneration. What is this? Remuneration. The meaning of this word is salary. Salary or wages. Generally we call salary, but as you are the business studies student, so definitely you should use certain special terms of business, that is remuneration. So in employment, we can say that employment is concerned with a contract between the employer and the employee. The employee have to follow all the instructions, all the guidelines, all the rules and regulations of the employer, and in return employee will get remuneration from the employer. So this is called employment. Clear to all? So now it is clear to you business, profession and employment. What is business? Business means sale and exchange of goods and services with the main aim of earning profit, but you should be the regular dealer of the particular things. In profession, it is a systematic body of knowledge. You have to acquire certain special skills or knowledge in the particular field, and then only you can provide the services to your clients, to your students, to your patients, etc. And in employment, we can say that it is a contract between the employer and the employee. Employee have to follow all the instructions and guidelines given by the employer, and in return the employee will get the remuneration. So let's talk about in business. You are not supposed to be qualified. If you are qualified, then it's good. If you are not qualified, then it is also good. So in business, if I talk about the qualification in business, no minimum qualification is required. If you have the managerial skills in you, if you can manage the business in a very good manner, then I should say that you can be a good businessman. So in business, no qualification is required. In profession, obviously you need a minimum qualification with you, and in employment it is according to the breach of contract, because in an organization the peons are working, the employers are also there. In employers, A grade employee, B grade employee, C grade, D grade, but they all are called employees. Is it clear? So the qualification in employment, the qualification is totally depend on the breach of contract. What type of contract is there with your employer? Is it clear? And in business, the reward is profit, means whatever you are doing things, whatever you are taking risk in your business, the reward will you will get in the form of profit. In profession, the reward will be in the form of fees. You have seen that you visited the doctor number of times, and obviously the doctor want from you? Fees. What CA want from you? Fees. Teacher, fees. Everybody needs fees if he or she is a professional. So I should say that the reward of profession is fees, and in employment the reward is remuneration. Third difference is that in business, risk is the essential element of every business. There is a saying that higher the risk, higher will be the profit. Lower the risk, lower will be the profit. If you take more risk in your life, if you will take more risk in business, then definitely you will get the more rate of return. Is it clear? So there is a saying in business that is higher the risk, higher will be the profit. Higher the risk, higher will be the profit. You must learn this phrase. Being a business studies student, being a commerce student, I should say, learn this phrase, and this phrase which will help you definitely in your life. More the risk you will take, the more gain you will the more profit you will gain. Clear? Now, in business, high risk is there because whatever the investment we have to do, the investment is all belongs to the businessman only. In profession, in comparison to business, low investment is required. That's why we can say that low risk is there. In employment, I should say no risk is there because we are doing employment and we are doing job somewhere. So if I have to leave the job, you have to leave the job from that particular organization, then you can catch the job from other organizations also. So we can say that in employment no risk is there because no investment is given, or no investment is undertaken by the employee. In profession, low risk is there if we compare the risk with business, but in business high risk is there. Risk is high because all the investment, all the liability is undertaken by the businessman only. So I think this concept is very clear to you. What is business, what is profession, and what is employment. There are certain characteristics of business. First of all, to understand the characteristic of anything, we just have to go back. Go back means we just have to think about the definition of that particular thing. If we are talking about the characteristics of business, first just review, just recall what I told you about the business. Business is an economic activity. So first characteristic is it is an economic activity. Why it is an economic activity? Because this activity, yani business, is undertaken just because to earn money, and money it is in the form of profit. So that's why we can say that business is an economic activity because we are undertaking this activity just to earn profit. Second one is sale and exchange of goods and services. Sale and exchange of goods and services. In business, definitely, if you want to do business, then definitely you will have to sell or exchange the goods and services, obviously. Then only it is considered as business. If you, for example, if you buy anything from the market and you are the regular dealer in that particular thing, the business can only be take place if you sell the goods and services, if there is exchange of the goods and services between you and the customer. So we can say that there is a sale and exchange of goods and services between the customer and the businessman. Third one is risk element is present over there. Risk element is present. In business, I told you that learn a phrase, higher the risk, higher will be the profit. The more you will take risk in your life, definitely, in business obviously, then the more you will earn profit. Risk is an essential element of every business. If you are not taking the risk in your life, if you are not taking the risk in business, then definitely you can't achieve anything. You can't achieve more profit. For example, like two organizations are there, A and B. Sorry, one organization is there, and there are two projects, that is A and project B. If this organization invests money in project A, he will earn 10% rate of return on investment. And if this organization invest in project B, then definitely he will earn 20%. Clear? But if we are talking about risk, then the project A of 10%, which is given us 10%, in this the risk is of 5%, and in B project it gives us the rate of return, that is 20%. The risk is present over here 10%. Then which project you will select? If you are a good businessman, then definitely you will select project B. We are not caring about the risk, the rate of return, 10%, 20%. We just have to think about 20% rate of return. Clear to all? So what I said, risk element should be present over there. If you take risk in the business, then definitely you will achieve more and more in your business. Regular supply. I told you in the definition of business that you should be the regular dealer in every business. If you are dealing in any business, then you should be the regular dealer of that particular thing. I gave you example of that marker, that if you purchase any dress from the market, and if your friend like that dress, and if you offer the dress, if you purchase that dress for rupees 1000, and if you provide that dress to your friend for rupees 1100, so is it considered as a business? No, because you are not a regular dealer. So to be a good businessman, or if you want that your organization should be considered as a business, then you should be the regular dealer, or you should have to supply the regular things to your customer. Uncertainty is also present in business, because every businessman wants to survive for a longer period of time in the market. He does every possible efforts to make the business successful, but in spite of this, there can be the uncertainty in the amount of profit. Because business environment is dynamic, it keeps on changing. What I think, what you think, the business world will not go according to you. The economic factors, the political factors, the technological factor, everything affects the business. So we can say that there is an uncertainty in every business. So these are the characteristics of every business. Again, I am telling you, it is an economic activity, means this activity is undertaken just to earn profit. Second one is sale and exchange of goods and services. In business, we have to sell and exchange of goods and services, then only we can consider the organization as a business organization. Risk element. Risk is an essential part of every business. As higher the risk, higher will be the profit. If the organization is taking more risk, then definitely the organization will earn more profit. Regular dealer or regular supplier, you will have to supply the goods and services on the regular basis. Clear? It is not like that you sell the goods and services for 1 or 2 days, after that you just close down your organization or close down your shop for 1 or 2 days. You will have to deal the customers regularly, then only your organization is considered as a business. And the last one is uncertainty in business. This is very essential part of every business, because business environment is all dynamic. It keeps on changing day by day. All the factors, political, legal, social, economical factors, many factors are there which affect the business directly or indirectly, and definitely the business have to suffer. So we can say that uncertainty is always present in business. So these are the certain characteristics of every business. I think this is understood. So, if we are a businessman, if you are a businessman, then being a businessman, there are certain responsibilities of the business towards the society, towards number of people who are prevailing outside the business organization as well as inside the business. So there are certain objectives of every business which every business have to follow. First one is organizational or economic objective, second one is social objective, and third one is personal, individual or human objective. So every organization want three things only, that is profit, survival and growth. So we are very aware about the profit. Profit means what we are investing in our organization, we just want from the organization much more. This is called profit. So every organization set up their business just to earn more and more profit, because profit is the thing by which we can expand the size of our business, by which we can reinvest the money in the business. So number of things are dependent on profit only. So every organization want to earn more and more profit. Second one is survival. Survival means every organization set their organization, every organization have the factor in their mind that we want to survive for a longer period of time in the market. Every organization want to capture a good market share. Why? Because every organization want to be a successful organization in comparison to their competitors. So every organization want to survive for a longer period of time in the market. Second thing is want to capture a good market share. Third one is want to maintain the goodwill in the eyes of public. Third one is growth. Every organization want to grow its size, and the organization can be grown in two ways, that is expansion and diversification. Here expansion means if you have your organization in one state or in one city, if you expand the size of your organization from one city to other, from one country to other, from one region to other, this is called expansion. And diversification means if you are dealing in one product and you start and you want to start dealing in multiple products. This is called diversification of the product. For example, presently you are dealing in toys, or presently you are dealing in stationery, and in future you have a dream because you have a sufficient profit in your previous organization, that is toys, and you want to open the organization of stationery, and you have opened that. Means you are the dealer in toys as well as in stationery. It means what you are doing, you are diversifying your product. Means previously you are a dealer in one product, and now you are dealer in two products. So this is called diversification of the product. So every organization has three main objectives, that is profit, survival and growth. Every organization want to earn more and more profit so that the organization can reinvest in the business. Second thing is survival. Want to capture a good market share in the market. Growth. Every organization want to grow its size with the help of expansion or by diversification. Second thing is social objective. Social is concerned with society. And society includes not only customers. We are not talking about customers only. Society includes customers, government, different communities, different investors, stakeholders, shareholders, suppliers, all comprises in society. Clear? So there are certain responsibility of the businessman towards the society as well, or certain objective. First one is providing desired quality product. It is the objective of every business to provide desired quality of product to their customers. Desired means what they actually want. First of all, identify the needs and wants of the customer, what your customer wants from you, and then design the product according to their wants. So first objective of business towards their society is providing desired quality product. Second one is providing employment opportunities. As a businessman designed or establishes their organization in certain area, then it is a responsibility of the businessman to provide the employment opportunities to the people who are living in the surrounding areas. Clear? So, it is also one of the objectives of every business to provide employment opportunities to the people. Third one is quality product at cheaper rates. Your product should be good by quality, but the rate should be according to the customer. The rate should be according to every section of the society. Means if you are a good businessman, then you should produce the goods and services according to each section of the society, where it is a weaker section, middle class section, or upper level section. We will have to produce the goods and services according to each and every person. So we have to provide the quality product at cheaper rates. Pay taxes on time. As government is a part of society, so the objective of business is also to pay taxes on time to the government, because whatever the taxes we are paying to the government is providing us many infrastructural facilities like these roads, bridges and dams and all. From where the government is doing this just because of the businessman. Businessman is providing the GST. You people are very aware about GST, goods and service tax, which every businessman have to fill. So we have to pay the taxes on time to the government, because government is also one of the responsibility of every business. Avoid unfair trade practice. You are not supposed to injure. If you are a good businessman, then you should avoid the unfair trade practices like adulteration, black marketing, hoarding. All these things should be avoided by you. Then only you can capture a good market share. Then only you can form your image, form your goodwill in the eyes of public. Next one is eco-friendly technique of production. Technique of production. A good businessman always use those techniques which are eco-friendly. Means whatever the production technique you are using, it should not hurt any of your community, any of your society, or in any way to your environment also. Clear to all? Always set up your industries in the industrial areas, not in residential areas. Always use eco-friendly technique of production only. Clear? So there are certain social objectives: providing desired quality of product, employment opportunities to the people living in the surrounding areas, quality product at cheaper rates, pay taxes on time to the government, avoid unfair trade practices like adulteration, black marketing, etc. Use eco-friendly technique of production only. Clear? Now the last thing is personal, individual or human objective. I am erasing this because space is not here. Good working conditions. Personal, individual or human objective. Here we are talking about the employees of the organization. Employees of organization. As an employee are doing work in the organization, so there are certain objectives, there are certain responsibilities of the businessman towards their workers also. That is to provide good working conditions to them. The working conditions should be good. If the workers are doing work in such a area in which the toxins are emitted out, then the organization should provide masks and all to their workers, gloves to their workers, so that in any way these workers will not have to be suffered. So providing good working condition to their employees, first motive or first objective of every business. Second thing is providing fair wages and salaries. Fair wages and salaries. The organization should provide a good remuneration to their employees, to their workers, because salaries or remuneration is we can say that it is a financial incentive by which we can motivate our workers. Isn't it? So we have to provide good or fair wages and salaries to our workers, so that the workers can be happy in the organization. They feel security somewhere. Clear? Next is job security. If the employee is doing good work in your organization, then definitely you should appreciate them, and you should make the employee permanent in your organization, so that there is a feeling of job security among the workers, and they will provide 100% to your organization. So job security should be there for the employees. Next one is peer recognition. Peer means colleagues. Recognition means identity. Each and every person who are working in the organization, there should be, every employee or every worker have their unique identity, have their unique recognition in the organization. Or we can say that it is the responsibility of the businessman to provide such an environment in which there is a love, care and affection towards each other. There should be a good working condition, I should say. Perks or perquisites. Perks means certain facilities which you can provide to your employees, like mediclaim facilities, insurance facilities. Some organizations are providing insurance facilities to the workers. Some are providing mediclaim, medical facilities. If the employee gets ill, then the organization will pay all the bills and all, or hospitalization charges as well. So what we call them, they are called perks or perquisites. It should be provided by the organization to motivate their employees, and it is the objective of every business also. If the organization is good, then definitely the organization will provide everything to their workers. Good working conditions, providing fair wages and salaries according to their work, job security. There should be the sense of job security among the employees. Peer recognition. There should be such environment in the organization that is love, care and affection towards each other. And the last one is perks or perquisites, that is additional facilities to your employees. I told you, like medical facilities, fund, provident, PF facilities, medical facilities, etc. So I hope you understood this topic. Thank you.